Welcome back. This time we're doing Rat Ogres for Skaven. Now, I have a bunch of conversions here. I'm just going to walk through the conversions. What we have is 2 battle forces with the old style Skavens, and I have total, well in this set here, 3 of the Island of Blood sets of Skavens. So 6 of them, and for these guys, so that's 10. So there's one guy in the back there, he doesn't get ranked up properly. And I have, from before, I painted up 2 of the Rat Ogres from the Island of Blood. So in total, I'm going to have 12 Rat Ogres, and I don't want them to all look the same. So what I've done is I've mixed and matched some pieces, and I'm just going to walk you through how I did that. So first of all, here's one of the Rat Ogres from the Island of Blood set. And I just taken the razor saw and sliced off his arm. I'm going to use this in one of the old style Rat Ogres. So here you can see how it kind of, I'm just making it match up here, and I'm just going to bend this down so it looks like it's a loose tube, and hopefully this will make the Rat Ogres look a bit better. Here's using the razor saw again, cutting off this arm. I'm just making sure that I avoid the shoulder pad and try to get it off nice and clean to attach on a different guy. So this is cleaned up a bit. I've just taken the X-Acto knife and cleaned up the edges because you get a bit of fuzz from the razor saw, and I'm going to attach that onto this guy here. So I'm going to do a bit of gap filling later, and this is just to give you an idea of the basic concepts I'm doing. Now this here is just replacing that arm with one of the old style Rat Ogre arms. I've bent the fingers here to make a bit more of a fist, and they fit on reasonably well. Just a little bit of trimming. You can see there's some gaps here, but the old ones had lots of bad gaps anyways. This is actually an old style arm, and I cut the fist off one of the other ones. The other pieces I've used, I will use later on with these guys, are some of the extra hands from the Warhammer Giant kit. I have a bunch of those leftovers. It actually seems to be all the left hands that don't hold anything, but they're about the same size as the Island of Blood ones, and most of them are making fists, so they go in nice. So I'm just going to walk through the finished ones here. So this is obviously Island of Blood body, old style Rat Ogre arm, and a little bit of green stuff just to fill in the gaps there. And it took this tube here and it bent it out of the way. This one here, again, Island of Blood, but I took one of the old style Rat Ogre claw fists and just basically razor saw, chopped that off. Chopped the saw off the arm and glued it on. Not a lot of difference there. You can see I filled in, there's a gap along there in these Island of Blood guys, and a bit of green stuff there as well. Here we go, another Island of Blood Ogre. This is one of the giant hands. It kind of looks goofy there, and I think it looks good. And a bit of green stuff over there. So I've got one of the old style Rat Ogre arms there. And yeah, there's a bit of a gap there, but you won't notice that once it's painted up. There's one last look. Again, a bit of gap filling over here. Another variation using the gun arm is actually, it was from the right hand, but it's kind of ambidextrous. I glued on this piece, the hose, to the bottom of the gun just to make it look like it was connected, and to deal with something here. Drilled out the barrel a little bit, chopped off the top there, and a bit of green stuff here. A bit of a gap there, but again, it won't be a big deal. Oh, and I switched out some of these tails. This style Rat Ogre has a tail that's not attached to anything else, so I chopped off there, and just this is one of the other old style Rat Ogre tails. This is another giant hand from the giant kit. And I got some green stuff around here. Old style Rat Ogre arm. I think everything else in this one is, yeah, everything else has been left the same on this one. There's green stuff again on the top. Same style guy, a bit more. So this one here, he's dual peg legs. This is the old style arm. Razor saw cut off here. And I also cut in that elbow there, just to make it a bit of a more of a 90-degree angle on the arm. It ended up cutting all the way through, and so I just glued it on. And there's a bit of green stuff here, and just to fill in the gaps. Yeah, you can see green stuff there and a bit in here. Okay, now I'm on to all the old style ones. And you can see what I did here. So this is old style Rat Ogre. These gaps are terrible on these models, so a bit of green stuff. That's just unmodified arm. And now this is one of the Island of Blood arms, sort of posing forward as if he's punching. And just green stuff in around the outside there to make sure it fit. You can see, just trying to make it a bit of a texture so it looks like fur when I paint it up. Okay, another old style Rat Ogre, Island of Blood arm, obviously, just put up over his head. This is one of the old style arms with a new hand on top. So he's got dual fists, he's going to slam him down, I guess, on somebody. A bit of a gap there, but... And that's the Island of Blood tail glued in, swapped out. Okay, so this is Island of Blood arm, and another Island of Blood arm, and a bit of green stuff in there, and an Island of Blood tail. So I bent this down a little bit just so it didn't look quite so unnatural. But a pretty dynamic pose on this guy. Again, there was that warp stone that was in there. I kind of cut it off and filled in all the cracks a bit. You know, quick and dirty green stuffing. Okay, here we go. This guy, Island of Blood arm on an old style regular arm. And Island of Blood forearm as well as hand. A bit of green stuff right around here just to fill in the gaps. You see there as well. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it. It's like watching paintdry.blogspot.com. Check it out and come back for more.